Maria adjusted her jacket, her eyes darting around the sterile waiting room, waiting for Dr. Karen Matthews, but today felt different. Today, her hands wouldn't stop trembling. She sat on the edge of the hard plastic chair, the sterile white walls of the laboratory pressing inward. Room shrank. Silence weighed heavy, preparing for the interview of a lifetime. Heat radiated from the overhead panels, turning the air thick and stagnant. She looked down at her hands. Her fingers were drumming a frantic rhythm against the edge of her notepad, a betrayal of the stillness she was trying to project. She forced them to stop, pressing her palms flat against the cold surface of the desk until the joints ached. She adjusted her position, shifting her weight to find a center that felt increasingly elusive. The camera lens stared back at her, a glass eye reflecting the room in distorted miniature. She caught her own gaze in the glass and saw the tightness around her eyes. She held her breath until her chest burned, then let it out slowly. Dr. Matthews entered, composed, professional, settling into the chair across from her with her iPad and a careful smile, delivered with a weight that made the studio air feel thin. The floor director held up 2 fingers. The tremor in her hands vanished as she locked her focus onto the lens. She was ready to speak. Doors sealed shut. Maria's attention is reverted back to the men in the hallway with hazmat suits. Is that really necessary? Maria leaned in, whispering, hesitant about asking. Her movements were sharp, mechanical. Dr. Matthews turned her head, offering a slight nod. They are not with me. Apparently, our federal government believes so. Dr. Matthews gripped the armrests of her chair, her knuckles turning bone white. That's odd. All this? For DNA? Maria asked the doctor. I guess so. We're live. In 5, 4. The director interrupted. She stared straight ahead. This is Maria Coppola, Channel 2 News, broadcasting live from the Biological Research Facility. Her voice carried the practiced steadiness of a decade behind the desk. I'm joined by Dr. Karen Matthews, lead researcher on the Ohio phenomenon. She leaned forward, searching the doctor's face. Doctor, thank you for making time. What exactly are we dealing with here? Dr. Matthews did not blink. She leaned forward. Thank you for having me. We're observing remarkable developments in certain individuals, enhanced capabilities, and others catastrophic mutations. The silence that followed was absolute, heavy with the weight of the secrets she was about to reveal. Heading to a prompter, navigating through the screen showing details of the first encounter. Maria spoke, her voice cutting through the silence like a blade. She asked the question that had been haunting the nation for the last 3 days now. Is this bio-warfare? Dr. Matthews did not hesitate. Her rigid posture collapsed, and she leaned into the microphone. Our team has been processing data from volunteers for 48 hours straight, eyes locking onto the camera lens with a hollow intensity. She spoke, What we're seeing, the DNA structures themselves have been altered in a subset of the population. We don't understand the trigger. Some genetic codes rejected the anomaly. Dr. Matthews chose each word like she was defusing a bomb. The human body fought back. In those cases, the results were, her jaw tightened, incompatible. We don't believe so. A bitter smile touched her lips. What enemy would enhance their opponent's abilities? Make them stronger? Faster? Maria's eyes flicked. What should people do? Exercise extreme caution around anyone exhibiting unusual behavior or abilities. These individuals, they may not intend harm, but it's too early. They don't know what they're capable of. We have an exceptional team, brilliant minds working in 24-hour rotations. We will find answers. The promise hung in the air like smoke, but the impact was absolute. She looked directly into the camera and confirmed that thousands were already lost to this biological error. We're learning new and different information, day by day. Her eyes bore into the camera, into the homes beyond. We need to stay calm and patient. Trust the process. Give us time. We're here to help you. Maria sat frozen, her pen hovering over the notepad, the weight of the revelation settling into the room. The truth was no longer a theory. It was a body count. Maria forced her professional smile back into place, though it felt like a mask. Dr. Karen Matthews, thank you. We'll be counting on those updates. Snarling at the screen, blowing smoke. I can't believe people fall for this bullshit they serve to you on a silver platter. They know what's going on. just as I do. They know what I know is true. Doctor, Karen, Matthews, exceptional team, brilliant minds. He laughed, working around the clock to feed you the same recycled lies they've been shoveling since day one. The podcaster's chair shrieked as he spun to face the screen, smoke ribboning from his nostrils like a dragon waking up. The people I despise the most is who play both sides. Every word the doctor uttered felt calculated to divert and to stall. Your government looked you dead in the eyes and said nothing's happening. Denied it, scrubbed the footage, shut down comms. The cigarette dangled from his mouth as he drew from it once more before putting it out, continuing to watch the monitor with disgust. We've heard rumors of a virus spreading. Is this true? The doctor chuckled. Maybe the flu like every year, but no, not to my knowledge. Reports of multiple people gone missing in the last 24 hours. The doctor leaned forward, her movements suddenly fluid and purposeful, due to certain circumstances. Crime is up significantly. This phenomenon has highlighted the gifted true intentions with power, her eyes scanning the lens as if she were looking for a specific face in the crowd. Every syllable was precise. Why the lockdowns? Are they necessary? Dr. Matthews checking her watch. I can't speak for the military. She addressed the camera with a chilling, direct intensity. All rumors are fear-based tactics. Ignore these rumors and keep watching for updates and more information. She warned the audience to monitor their surroundings for anyone displaying unusual abilities. If you see anything, you can report it to the proper authorities anonymously. Rewards are given. The red light on the primary camera blinked once and died. The hum of the broadcast equipment cut out. That's a wrap. Good work, the floor director announced. Men in hazmat suits entered the hallway, in synchronized pace that contrasted with the frantic energy inside the lab. Maria and her team paused momentarily, while watching the team prepare for something big. Behind them, 3 shadows separated from the wall and moved in synchronized silence. There was nothing natural about their rhythm. The lab temperature dropped. The darkness felt alive now, but Maria's focus had shifted to the glass. Beyond the pane, the figures reached the studio door. They did not knock. They all quickly finished gathering the rest of their equipment, as the men in hazmat suits clear the floors out one by one, until the whole building is cleared. Miles away, the flickering glow of the monitor was the only light in the basement. He sat in a different room editing his work before uploading it to his followers. A chair spun playfully as he recorded voiceover for his introduction, his eyes bloodshot and wide, tracing the image on the screen. He did not speak. He watched the final moments of the feed, his jaw tightening until the muscles stood out against his skin. Then, movement. He stood up so abruptly that his knees struck the desk, sending a cascade of empty energy drink cans clattering to the floor. The sound was sharp, metallic, and echoed in the confined space. Sitting back down, he kept his gaze locked on the screen, his breathing ragged and uneven. A tremor started in his right hand and brought it down against the desk with a heavy, dull thud. The monitor wobbled. Fuck. If I am right about the next phase, all hell will break out soon. He stared at the screen, his chest heaving. Even if I warn my family and friends, they all believe I am crazy. It's time to head to the hideout spot, away from the city. He stood up, his posture rigid. The silence of the basement felt heavier than the studio, charged with a sudden urge to act, violent refusal to believe the words he had just heard. He spun toward the wall, his voice rising into a jagged, raw shout that seemed to tear at the stale air. If anyone is listening, this is a special private message. You have been chosen. He pointed a trembling finger at the monitor. I will be releasing certain geographical locations on the map, only to certain select people who are trustworthy. Do not share or tell anyone. He grabbed a stack of printed reports, each location equipped with everything you need to get started. These outposts are set up for the resistance, his voice gaining a terrifying clarity. Those who have been here from the beginning. He stopped pacing and leaned close to the lens of his own recording device, remember. Tell no one, share nothing. You can't trust anyone once shit hits the fan. It's every man for himself. He grabbed the edge of the desk, his knuckles whitening as he dragged the furniture inches forward. People will do unspeakable things to save their own lives. His breathing coming in ragged, disciplined gasps. The focus had shifted. I have seen it, firsthand. I was given this vision. I didn't choose this life. Remember what I said about people becoming activated. They lay dormant just to execute one goal. The time is now. He leaned into the camera lens, his face now a mask of cold, hard facts. While they tell you to stay inside, don't leave your home. Eventually there will be no home. They planned this all along. Let the gifted and people annihilate themselves first, then come in and clean up the rest, using AI robotic warfare against their own citizens. He sat back down, his boots thumping against the concrete with heavy, rhythmic strikes. He stopped. It's the only way they're able to introduce their new toys to the public. People will beg for help, waiting for a rescue that will never come, while they watch from behind reinforced walls. He gestured wildly toward the ceiling, his voice dropping to a harsh, gravelly rasp, the impact rattling the empty cans again. You are trapped in a cycle of compliance. They are not the victims of this change. They are the architects. He slammed his palm against the desk. The threat is not what is in the gifted's blood. The threat is in the boardrooms, the corporations, the elites who time runs short. The figures behind the podiums are the true predators, and they have already left you behind to face the cage they built. He reached out and adjusted the camera angle, his fingers steady, deliberate, and precise. I am done, he said, his voice dropping to a low, dangerous vibration that cut through the silence. He stood upright, shoulders squared, casting a long and distorted shadow against the damp concrete wall behind him. The basement felt smaller, the air tighter, but he did not blink. He stared into the lens as if challenging the entire world to look back, the general gripping the edge of the desk until his hands shook. He knows too much. He's dangerous if people start to listen. I have orders from the top. They want him dead. Keep it quiet. Off the books. Make it look like suicide or an accident. Just get it done fast and bring back the head. Start immediately. He held the smoke. His eyes never break contact, before exhaling a thick cloud of smoke. He had crossed the line, and there was no turning back. Locate and find all his followers for the resistance group. Eliminate them all. Burn down every outpost set up. He reached for the pack of cigarettes on the cluttered desk, his movements slow and mechanical. He pulled one out, struck a match, and drew in a long, ragged breath that hissed in the silence of the basement, the chair creaking under his weight. He brought the cigarette to the overflowing ashtray and ground it out. He leaned forward once more, his face filling the screen, his expression stripped of all pretense. The room fell into an absolute, suffocating silence. He lowered his voice to a whisper, terrifyingly clear. Phase 3 is underway, sending a secure message to someone. He remained locked in that stare until the screen abruptly cut to black,